welcome back our dear viewers. And as we tackled before that, we're gonna talk more about the efforts exerted by the battalions of the Egyptian professors and students on how to repair the Ramses Communication Center as soon as possible. And to shed more light about this issue, we are most delighted and honored to have Dr. Wael Badawy, the professor at the Artificial Intelligence faculty. Good morning, doctor.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Good.
So please tell us more about your feeling when you saw the Egyptian engineers, university professors and students working around the clock to get back the communication center, Ramses Communication Center.
I personally felt very proud. I trusted that we have capacity, which what we used to call, we are building capacities, we have capacity building. They demonstrate professionalism, they demonstrate skill, and these skills proven that we at universities teach students and train them to solve real-time problems, to solve real problems. The fact is you envision all of them just come to stand. I'm not sure about their money compensation. Yes. However, it also demonstrates that we are tied to our country. We love our home country. We are here volunteering ourselves, spend more time to get it into shape and into back to operation. So I was so proud.
Yes, sure. So tell us more about the coordination between the volunteers and the concerned bodies responsible for the repairs.
We have to understand that our ministers and the concerned bodies are working in a partnership, and majority of our ministers' employee or the ministry employees are actually ex-faculties or current faculty members in different universities. Yes. We are being known, different universities will have the leadership in this area. So in Egypt we have lots of engineering students, lots of computer science, computer engineering, artificial intelligence students who are competent enough. Majority of them will attend internships into these companies. So it's very logical, if you need more manpower immediately, you look back to your resources. And just having this, it was like I call it a show in Egypt love. This is how I call it. Having all of them come perform tasks up to standard with minimal or almost no training before, it demonstrates the skill, the competency of these individuals.
Yes, sure. So as an expert, what are the main problems that were detected in the center?
After the fact, or after the fire, or yes, after the incident, the majority of the issues will be how you can route the signals, because you have to imagine these centers are millions of cables, and these cables are between point to a point. They are not like wireless communication where you have all the phones connected. So these are fiber cables or different types of cables, and they are connected. So yes, the biggest challenge will be after the fact, or after the issue, or after the incident, is how to decide which cables are valid, which cable to change, and what is the right route. And having individuals who can work in teams to restore the operation, it means one thing. It means that there is somewhere in the system the full map of these cables, which demonstrates that this environment or these systems are not built haphazard, and they are not built without planning and without structure. Because how you can restore cable network or without having the actual drawing, the actual layout, so you can go and test each cable and decide which one to change.
Yes, sure. So what about the specialties needed for the repair process?
Majority of this repair process will be between, in my understanding, between three different parts. Okay. Part number one is you need people who can run cables and install computers or routers or devices, and then individuals who can run cable. The second part is programming and reprogramming these units so it can operate or restore the programming before. And the third part is testing. So majority of them will be electronic engineer, electrical engineer, mechatronics can play a role, computer engineer, programmers, and the test engineers will come from all these disciplines. And to be honest with you, it touched my heart, because we always hear like, oh, school does not teach you how to operate. University, you need to, no, university does not need to have training. You can go to university with the internship training, it's enough. And this was a lifetime demonstration.
Yes, sure. So how will those volunteers help in presenting innovative solutions for the technical problems facing the repair process?
I believe the innovation here have been demonstrated and proven by the time to restore.
Yes.
Because no matter what we say, which company has no service, within less than 24 hours or within less than 4 hours,
yes,
more than 90-95% of the old service have been restored. There are some areas which is highly impacted, and I believe within 1 day or 24 hours have been fully restored.
Yes.
This is what we understand from the media and what we hear from our community. So the innovative part is to focus where the exact or the most effective part to fix, so you can restore this gradually and quickly, which also elaborates that we have somewhere in the system risk mitigation and risk management operation. Because without these plans and with this operation, we could not be live again within 4 hours or less.
Yes, sure. So could you please shed more light on the supervising role of the university's professors in guiding their students while carrying out their mission?
I strongly believe this operation, because the idea of this operation is you have too many groups working in the same task, so
yes,
you can have a massive restoration. If you do
yes,
it by small group, you'll go one by one, you'll need more time.
yes,
So having faculty members, particularly the junior ones, to stand with their students and their graduates to restore these services, it demonstrates how we as a professor are tied to our students, how we are the leader of these students, how we are the role model. So these professors have been providing a role model to the students to stand on the ground immediately and serve our loved nation.
yes. So how would the participation of the university professors and students help in raising the efficiency of the center?
As I was stating, having parallel groups and having large number of individuals to do the same operation on different parts for the restoration, this will create a parallel system which will complete the task faster than just having a small expert. Okay. So it was a remarkable event that you see all of these students are actually standing, because as I said before, we have been feeling or we have been told that our students are not competent. This was a full demonstration of competency. Yes, it's a smaller size of the whole system, because students will learn more and more and more than just operation of a central unit or restoration or testing. However, if they know this little piece, it's good enough to prove that they can move forward. It also builds a trust in our coming generation that they will be able to take the leadership and move forward to our digital nation.
Yes, so how can this model of cooperation between the Egyptian universities and executive bodies be repeated, and how can we make the utmost benefit from it?
This model is indeed repeated. You saw the massive deployment of it, and you had the light of the media on it.
Yes.
However, we at our schools have internships and training in all of these companies and in all of these organizations. Ministry of Higher Education, Communication and Information Technology, all communication companies, they will have at least 1 to 2 months training for our students. And when we interview the students coming back from the internship or the training, we realize they go stand in field besides the engineers and the technician to learn the day-to-day operation. And this is happening across of the whole industry. So the vision of our Ministry of Higher Education, the vision of our Prime Minister and Our Highness, our President, of having training of almost 90 credit hours to 130 based on the program, it facilitates and enables these students to take steps into the industry right away when it's needed. And this is how we can be ready for any incident which is not encountered for.
Yes, sure. So, in your opinion, what caused the fire at Ramses Communication Center? Was it an electric fault, overheating, sabotage, or poor maintenance?
This is a good question. I didn't expect it, because I don't want to. But I don't want to be in like answering stuff blindly. But however, from our close relation to these projects, these projects are designed, well designed. They operated for so long without any problem. over the last maybe 2 days, even we were talking
Yes.
before the streaming here, it was extremely hot. It's very standard to have power failure or power spark. In the very hot weather and the changes of the hot weather, it's very standard to have mechanical failure.
Yes.
So having a kind of a spark which is reside into different set of fires is very expected.
Yes.
And we have been watching in the close area, in the Middle East overall, in different countries, in the same time, different incident of burning or fires, large or small, of different buildings, which means that we are suspect to these particular problems. And what I was trying to watch on the social media of trying to say, no, it was not planned for to have alternative plans, the reality is not true, because as a matter of fact, people are sitting on the internet criticizing that there is no alternative plan. There was alternative plans, there was backup servers, and we have to also be reasonable that 2 to 4 hours response time is almost nothing. You have to watch for like disasters which will happen in the USA, like Katrina, like thunderstorms, like tornadoes. You have to watch that these countries, and we lived in these countries during our school time, we can stay for 3, 4, 5 days with no electricity, with no communication.
Yes.
We stayed in North America for 4 days with no internet, no network. In one instance, there was more than 10 days because just a cable have been cut due to a mistake. So mistakes and error is a human factor. No matter how you train them, no matter where you are, human factor will happen. And the idea of having backup plans, having this emergency response, risk management by having all of these students just volunteering and coming right away with a very little training or minimal or no training to start and follow the plan, follow the drawings, it demonstrates that we have a second line of I call them what? Superheroes?
Superheroes, yes. So, which system were most damaged, in your opinion?
In my opinion, the most damaged one will be the wiring. Because if you have a hardware like a router or a big device which is damaged, you can always replace it. The biggest challenge is how to connect it back to the system, because you may went to different, even if you went to the IT room here in the TV building, you will realize there are lots of wires. Some of them are marked, some of them are labeled, and some of them the label actually is not clear anymore. So just to go back and rewire, this is the largest task, and that's why having these volunteers doing all of this rewire start to boost the operation and get it back to service in a very short time.
Yes, sure. So why is Egypt is so reliant on a single telecom hub?
I may disagree that Egypt is so connected to a single hub, because as we stated, within 2 hours, we had difficulties. I personally, with my family, have difficulties with a network carrier, but the other network was actually functioning. So having everything and try to frame it as this one network hub is not quite true. However, from what we teach students in network, that's usually the core part is a small number of units. It cannot be distributed more than a small number. So in Egypt, we may have 2 to 4 to 6 cores. And I hope that audience and the viewer of your program understands that this is a national security top secret information. So we may actually reside here in this building, and in the basement of this building is another hub. We don't know. And we as a public don't have the right to know. Because if we have the right to know and the information have been misused, abused, the whole population will be in danger. That's why no matter what the explanation, I followed what the Minister of Communication was stating, and he was very reasonable explaining the situations. And no one of us can say how many core, because as you said, one core, someone will cut the power against this core, it's over. So this information is not for the public to consume. It just comes when we have this kind of, I call it incident. Or situations. Because we don't have attacks to create an accident.
So tell me more, Doctor, are there any plans to build the additional regional data center, especially in Alexandria, Upper Egypt, or New Cairo?
I believe with our President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi plans, he opens the government data center in new capital or in Ain Sokhna, based on where you want to locate it. So in Egypt we have lots of plans. They launched the 5G, and the 5G network enable more data. It allows up to 1 million unit per kilometer square.
Okay.
So this means more data. So for sure we have plans in the government to create so many of these centers, maybe 3, 4, 5. Coming back, these centers, you don't know. We don't know the large companies in North America or in Europe where they build the data center, because this is still national level security. Is not for the public to consume. However, we are also aware of so many private carrier and government quasi-carriers who are launching plans and launching marketing campaigns for data centers and artificial intelligence centers. So there are plans. And on the same task, or the same question, I was watching some of the news about that Egypt has lots of marine cables.
Yes.
And people are trying to show this marine cable location. What are you trying to explain?
Yes.
For sure, with each one of these marine cable, there are lots of communication centers, exactly like Ramses Communication Center.
Yes.
But we don't have, it's not a public information. It cannot be public data.
Yes, yes, sure. So is there insurance coverage or international support? I mean, are telecom companies insured or receiving outside funding aid?
I have no exact information about this particular question. However, our companies, majority of them with vision of our countries and our government, they start to get these companies with external arm or with foreign arm, to build internal systems. So for sure there was expertise from overseas, from wherever companies is coming from, to be able to supply information and supply techniques how to restore. And this investment from these countries into our national communication systems, it's also demonstrates they have trust in what we can do. At the same time, if we look at the interest, all these nations will have interest, because if we don't have internet, we will not use social media. We will not use advertisement. We will not buy. We will not move the economy. So right now we are in a global economy. We are in a global digital economy worldwide. So their interest of the foreign countries is to keep our internet live, because they have more users.
Okay, so finally, what lessons will be implemented to avoid more future disruptions?
I believe just having a standard audit for the security, for the safety, for the fire, having the standard audit will be the best approach. Maybe accelerate the time, not every 6 months or 3 months, having more frequently, in particularly in the new hottest area of the year, which is basically the summertime.
Yes, sure. So Dr. Wael, I was so honored and delighted to have you with me. It was such a great interview. Now our dear viewers will have a break and be back.